I started out kind of 18 working at doing sales at a high-end jewelry store, and really just fell in love with like the sales process, being able to connect with people. And yeah, I mean, that whole relationship aspect, that building relationship in a small amount of time, and kind of navigating that almost like a chess match in a certain way I really, really enjoyed that. And so, yeah, from selling jewelry, I went to selling art down in New Orleans, selling timeshare in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So sold a lot of stuff, right? Now, the one thing about that is, I was never really like that good of an employee, in the sense that like usually like after a year, right, I would like just be like so bored, and I would just want to change. And so from sales, right, it really kind of got me and pushed me into like entrepreneurship. I mean, I always kind of had stuff on the side. But kind of the big thing after that was I ended up starting a home improvement business, like an in-person home improvement business down in South Florida. And it was one of those things running that business. I was the big thing that kind of separated me in that space, where it's obviously a pretty crowded space down here, was the digital marketing aspect, right? I really dived into kind of building out the website for my business and running ads, and really started diving into this. And I soon realized, like, man, I like this like way more than I like, the business I'm in. I like this aspect of it. And so, it was extremely successful. And so like, I couldn't just walk away from it. But at the same time, I really started diving in deeper into the world of online business and digital marketing. And that started, kind of really, kind of my first pursuits with like business online was in kind of like the physical product e-commerce space with, some drop shipping sites and print on demand sites. Really exciting for me, right? I would just like any like spare time I had was just devouring knowledge and information and doing, not just like researching, but literally like doing it, right? Like building these things out, running ads, like getting ad accounts banned, right? Like just going through all those ups and downs, right? And so it got me to the place where, I actually did have several successful e-commerce businesses. And with that, I mean, a lot of times we think so often with online business, you're like, oh, well, it's easy, right? It's online. But like, you don't realize that it's still a legitimate business, just like, like there's all like the moving pieces of a regular business, but it's just online, right? And so I got to the point with e-commerce and with physical product e-commerce that I was like, man, like the cost of goods sold, like the margins are just getting so like lower and lower the more we scale. And so I was like, man, if we didn't have a cost of goods sold, right, then this would be like super lucrative. And so at that time, right, I was really also, I mean, I always had like kind of personal training on the side. I'm certified, in kind of all the different little health aspects. And so I actually was like, you know what, I'm going to, try kind of like information, right? Go into the information space, right? And take kind of these things I've learned in e-commerce and go into the information space. And so with that, I started kind of doing some different like health and fitness products and doing some like one-on-one training and stuff like that. It started experiencing that success. And quickly, the only thing was quickly I realized was this is taking up a lot of time. Like this one-to-one stuff is like really taking up a lot of time. Not to mention at that point, right? Like I literally had like 6 different software I was using, right? I had my landing pages over here. I had my membership site over here. I was doing, different video stuff over here. Like it was so many moving pieces, right? And so after kind of like a couple years of that, I really got to the point, I guess, and this would be like 2019. I got to the point where I was like, man, like, I just want to streamline everything. Like I'm ready to just like start, like, and I talked about this earlier, right? Always wanting to like do something different. And so I was like, I'm ready to start like a new business. I want to go like business to business. I really want to go in the information space. And I want to kind of take the strategies I learned in e-commerce, right? With like the scalability, right? And kind of doing like those lower ticket items, but with information, right? And once again, in that business to business space. And so I really started researching and trying to figure out, hey, what's going to be the platform that's going to allow me to really take this from my head and put it, into like this tangible thing in this business. But once again, that's fully streamlined, right? I don't want to have these 20 different software, right, that I'm having to pay for and use and then duct tape them all together, right? Like it was just like, I could not imagine scaling that, my business like that. That's where I first, kind of heard about Kartra. I started diving into that, started learning more about it. And I was like, all right, you know what? This looks good. And like I said, right, I really wanted kind of like a clean start. I wanted to start this fresh and really kind of like phase out of that one-to-one business that I was running. So it was kind of like end of 2019, early 2020, I ended up kind of going and getting started on Kartra and like lined up with like the whole, pandemic and everything like that in a weird way, that really kind of my in-person business, obviously we're doing home improvement. We were in people's houses. It's a large kind of elderly population here in South Florida. And so like business just like completely dropped out with that. And so kind of at the same time, now I had all this time on my hands. I had this new platform, right, with all these cool little like features and everything going on here. And so I had tons of time. I mean, literally, I want to say like in February or March of 2020, I mean, I was spending, I mean, from like 6 a.m. until like midnight every day, right, on the platform, just like playing around with things and like designing products and stuff. And so, yeah, we ended up launching that. I ended up launching that company, right, ProWriter Plus. And and when I say launching, right, I mean getting it all built out on Kartra, not really knowing how this was going to go. And then yeah, we I kind of turned on the ads within a day of just running $20 of ads on Facebook. I knew that that this was definitely going to be something that works, right? And so yeah, kind of that's fast forward, and that's kind of what we're doing and now, right, with everything. The biggest struggles that I was running into prior to Kartra, right, that kind of led me to the platform, was like and I kind of said it, but having a software for each thing, right, was just not cost effective, right? I mean, I was just spending money here, and not to mention having to master each one of these softwares was just so overwhelming. You do like a Google or a YouTube search, each one of these different platforms, right, for how to do, the site that I did my landing pages on, like their whatever, like learning, base, knowledge base is, I mean, you could watch video after video and you'd be in there for, 5 months. Right. And it's like, there's no, like, that's so much information, like information overload, and then multiply that by 5. Right. And that was the biggest thing for me. It was, I really wanted that level of automation without, once again, having to duct tape all of these different softwares together, which obviously, once again, you're paying money for another software to do that. You're still having to learn that software to duct tape everything together. And not to mention that, I mean, it was constantly like putting out fires, right? It was constantly like, oh man, what's going to break today? Like where what's like the hole in our funnel that's gonna just be like leaking water today, leaking leads, leaking customers today. It was always that like anxiety in the back of my mind of like, wait, is something not working? Like we always talk about like the 2 a.m. question, right? I talk about this with my customers a lot, but that thing that you wake up at 2 a.m. with the cold sweat, like, oh man, if only this was fixed in my life, everything would be better. And that was really where I was at kind of prior to Kartra. I was always thinking about like, oh my gosh, like what's going to mess up? What's going to be an update on one of these platforms that I'm using that then is going to make it so that this thing is messed up, right? And so, yeah, once again, it really was just like I had no peace into the idea of, like I said, I mean, I was successful with that. We were doing good numbers, but the idea of trying to scale that to 7 figures, 8 figures was just like, I could not fathom trying to do that. What kind of led me to Kartra in the first place was honestly a Facebook ad, right? Which, it's the double-edged sword of Facebook ads. I mean, I use them all in my business now, but yeah, I definitely think it was a Facebook ad. And then from there, right, I started, Googling it, right? Obviously reading some different blog posts on it. I'm not sure who the exact person was that I ended up going with through their affiliate link, but I ended up kind of purchasing off somebody that was like, hey, through an affiliate they kind of gave you a starter, really basic funnel put together when you use their affiliate link to join. And yeah, that was kind of how I got started on Kartra. But yeah, it was a Facebook ad. And then kind of after, I want to say probably like 2 or 3 weeks of researching kind of the different alternatives and what was good. Yeah, I mean, Kartra definitely stood out to me as the best all-in-one platform for running an online business. I would say the biggest kind of problem that Kartra solved for me, end of the day, right, is it's allowed me to make my team extremely lean, right? Extremely lean in the sense that, at this point, we process between, 100 to 200 sales every single day, right? I mean, every week, we're bringing in close to 1,000, new sales and customers, which to think about doing that, right, without the level of automation that we're able to achieve with Kartra, it hurts me to even think about how much time, energy, effort, stress, anxiety, right, it would take to be able to do that, right? And once again, I mean, for a large part, right, I just have a support team, right, that's helping obviously to answer our customers' questions and stuff. But in terms of like actual, somebody that's building this stuff and doing that, like I'm able to do that all on my own, right? I mean, we're getting ready to launch a new product actually tonight. And it was one of those things that I was able to build this entire new product. I mean, and we're talking about an extremely complex funnel. I was able to do that in 5 days, right? And so, yeah, I guess like that would be the biggest thing that Kartra has really helped me with is just streamlining everything in my business, allowing me and my team to just drive more profits at the end of the day. In terms of Kartra, big plans. I'm constantly trying to get in front of more people, trying to get more people, to experience kind of the difference that this platform can make. And with that said, right, I mean, one of our big kind of programs on the back end of my business is our funnel vault program, which end of the day, right, it's for our users to experience Kartra and to be able to take all of this tech automation, all this stuff, and be able to harness it, right? And I think that's one of the biggest things, right, is allowing the professionals that are in their field, right? I mean, the health coaches, the life coaches, right? All these different people, right, that are really experts at their field. Maybe they're not experts, right, with technology. Kartra is allowing professionals like that, right, to be able to harness this powerful technology that used to be reserved just for big corporations or like, really high level developers, right? And now regular people, right, with knowledge and passions that the world desperately needs are able to harness this powerful technology in order to get this right into the hands and the lives of the people that need it. Yeah, my company now, ProWriter Plus. Really, what we do at ProWriter Plus is we help right professionals in multiple industries, right, with content, right. So whether that's Facebook posts, blog posts, ebooks, courses, right. End of the day, we know that in today's day and age, right, you need to be on all these different platforms, right. Even if you don't like spending hours and hours creating content, right, and that's kind of where we come into play, right? We work with professional content creators in a variety of industries to create this high level content for professionals in that industry to use for their business, right? So that they can actually focus on the things in their business that matter and not just trying to do content all the time, right? And so that's what ProWriter Plus does. That's what we do. Once again, we have at this point a little over 30,000 customers on, I think, 120 or 130 different countries. And so kind of that's the way we help people on the front end, and kind of on the back end of our business, right? We have what's called our funnel vault program. And that's built, right? That's entirely on Kartra. And what it is essentially, right, we're giving our clients, our customers, right, the exact funnels that we use inside of our business, right? We are giving them and that's one of the things I love about Kartra is we're able to literally import the funnels that we're using every single day in our business. We're able to import those into our customers' accounts and then kind of give them screen share training, walking them step by step through actually how to customize these powerful funnels to match their business, match their products, match their services perfectly. I think one of the most powerful things about Kartra, like you mentioned, is the ease of use of the platform. And that's not to say that it's not without putting in work. End of the day, there's so many different things, right, that we can spend, 10 hours doing, whether that's 10 hours watching YouTube videos, 10 hours watching TV, whatever. I think one of the most powerful things about Kartra is 10 hours spent on the platform, literally just going through, looking at, what's in communications? Let me just click around here. What kind of automations can I do? Oh, what can I look and see? Okay, like how much information can I get about a lead from their lead profile? Really, and I'm dead serious, right? If you spend about 10 hours, right, inside of Kartra, inside just going through everything and just playing around with it, it's unbelievable what you are able to do in such a short amount of time, what you're able to set up, what you're able to create and actually have running for your business in such a short amount of time on the platform. Once again, I mean, there's so many platforms out there, right? In terms of, and I see it all the time with my customers. The biggest thing, right, that I think is hurting people, right, in the online space, especially in starting an online business, is just the overwhelming amount of information that we have in front of us and all the noise that is out there. And so, end of the day, there's going to be a million. There is a million platforms, right, trying to grab your attention. I'm sure, like, there's people experiencing success over here. I mean, I can tell you from experience and from at this point, right, the thousands of clients that I've worked with personally. Kartra hands down, is going to be a platform not just for building cool landing pages, not just for building, really high converting membership sites, not just for, having affiliate management. It's a platform that literally you can build your entire online business from, right? And I talk about this with my clients all the time of, if you want to get started, and learn this and then have to scrap everything and go over here and then learn a new software. And then when a big updates happens, have to go over here and learn a new software. That's what you run into when you go to the competitors, right? I mean, they're going to give you one thing and okay, With Kartra, literally, it allows you to, especially if you're just starting out. My gosh, I wish that I had Kartra when I was just starting, because it allows you to kind of set such a strong foundation, not just for getting started, right, and having that ease of use to get up and running with this platform, but and I can speak from experience, but when you are doing millions of dollars, right, it really has the infrastructure, it has the technology, it has the support in order to have multi-million dollar businesses just as good, right, as low scale businesses. I would definitely recommend, if you're just starting out on Kartra, to join my Funnel Vault program. That's going to give you 100% success. No, I'm just joking. But no, I mean, in all honesty, right? Like, that is how I operate, like, the very best. Like, it's always been that way. It's just like learning by doing, right? Man, if I try and just sit down and like get a bunch of information, I know that it just like goes in one ear and out the other. So yeah, I mean, end of the day, I think that I probably could have gotten stuff up and running way better, way faster, if I had somebody on the platform, if I had a program like what I'm offering, and what, I mean, several other people, are offering. I mean, there's really amazing people on the platform now. I mean, with the Kartra experts and stuff, really, really A-class people out there. But yeah, for me, it was really just like a bunch of trial and error, and just, like I said, just tons of time spent inside of Kartra. I sometimes wish that there was like a time counter that we could see, or maybe I don't wish that, right? Maybe that would be like weird to look at. But no, man, I mean, it really was just spending tons of time. I mean, like I said, whoever I signed up with, man, he gave like this super basic funnel, and that was really all I needed, man. Like, I think the hardest thing when you're starting out on Kartra is, to finish that page, to get that page done. Oh, wait, I need to actually have a form set up. And oh, wait, to set up this form, I need to now have a thank you page. And to set up that thank you page, actually, you know what? I should set up an email. It was always kind of like that. Oh, man, like, that one, before I can finish this, I need this. And so I think having those like kind of like done for you, like outlines and kind of like skeletons, is so huge and is so powerful, just because it allows you to focus on kind of the big picture rather than getting like super like engulfed in like that, that 50% complete area, where I feel like that's where a lot of people just go to die, is in that 30 things that are 20% complete. Oh man, we ran like, the first day was like 400 in sales off that $20. Yeah. And it was just
Wow.
like worldwide audience with like very, like, I mean, I think we like health coach was like the targeting on it,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Really
like
shallow targeting, and you just
yeah,
crushed it.
250 million audience. Yeah. With like add to cart for like the conversion objective. Yeah. It was just crazy.